unicorn and blue person. Arcade Fire. Tell me your thoughts on that.
And they tell me to stop. That album is so essential in my later life. It really captures the feeling of being a loser in the middle class. That's it. That I can't. Nothing else should be said about that. That's what it feels like. That's it. Like you're a middle class suburban person, and you're not going anywhere, doing anything. You're just stagnant. And yeah, and the funny part about that album, which I feel like no one really understands, if you digest it as just a piece of artwork, you're wrong. Like if you digest it as an actual mirror to what you're actually doing, you get so much more out of it, because you realize, hey, I am exactly this person. Because chances are, if you're around me, you are that person because you're in the same place I am. So there's no way. How can you not?
Yeah.
You get me? And the album was it's asking simple questions of like, can we do more? Can we get more? Why are we here?
Can we get out of here?
Can we get out of here? It's so perfect. That it was one of the albums I had to make sure all my friends would listen to it because I felt that they needed to understand it. Subsequently, they won Album of the Year and their Grammy. They won a Grammy for Album of the Year, which is incredibly deserved. But the album feels very sepia. Like it has that feeling of very brown. For as much as I like music that's very black and white and very aggressive, this album's feel is melancholy to 100%. Like there's no it's not really high ups and downs. It makes you ask why as opposed to it telling you something. And I really appreciate that, especially when the time I found it, it made perfect sense. It was an album that the writing, when you're in your early 20s, you really, if you can get to the actual writing portion of it, you realize that wow, I'm missing out, or there's more to these blocks, the street blocks, and more into the city than shopping malls and that.
What songs stand out to you?
Sprawl 2 is my favorite. It might be because of it has an odd combination of things that I'm not always 100% on. It's very, if you look at it out of context, it's a very cheesy synthesizer beat, but in context it works. If you look at it lyric wise, it's perfect. Probably one of the most perfect songs in the last 5 years for me. And song wise, it's the only song on the album that has a female vocalist throughout the entire thing. There's no other one. It's just that one. The other ones share between a guy and a girl, but this is all female. And the lyrics are straight to the point, and the way they're said, the lyrics are sad and melancholy, but it's not sung in a way where it sounds like it. It doesn't feel. You can take it in another context. It can sound very depressing and urgent, but in the way that she's singing it, I really feel that like she's in. The mental image I get is that she's enjoying her life anyways, but just wants more. But like this is the kind of person who is like playing Ring Around the Rosie and is okay with that. Like they're so content in their life, but they know they can have more. It's not a very urgent and necessary thing. They have open eyes as opposed to other people.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about the progression of the album, as far as like listening to it beginning to the end?
I think it's perfect. It plays out more like a movie than I would an actual album. There's songs I don't really listen to by themselves, but in the album, that's an album that I usually put on from beginning to end, unless I really want to hear Sprawl 2. But even how it starts with the Suburbs and Ready to Start, it makes sense. Like I feel the album is a piece, not much of it is a concept record that doesn't feel like a concept record. I don't know, man. It's just perfect. 10 out of 10. A plus. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Everyone should go listen to it. And for any genre or anybody who's in there who still believes they can do more should listen to it. That's, screw age.
Quarter life crisis.
Not even quarter, because you can be in a half-life crisis. You can be 40 years old and wanting to listen to that still, because it just makes sense. It's always, there's more. There's always more. And it makes sense in that respect. And I feel that album was created out of the band's feeling that way, and subsequently, that was their biggest album. They even played Madison Square Garden off that album. So it made sense. They made an album talking about wanting more, and as a result, they got more. So, that